Welcome to HDiiTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Now, if you've been listening to me for 2 years now, I've been on YouTube for I think 2 years, going on 3 years. If you've listened to me, you know that I'm gonna say how I feel, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, I tell you to move the hell on. I've had to get rid of a few people off the page. I've been into a lot of stuff with people who I thought were cool and then turned out to be nothing but salamanders. So you guys already know the gist of how I get down and how I feel about, you know, how blacks are being portrayed in media or any outlet. Now, some people will say, "Man, you're prejudiced, you're this," and I would tell them, "Yeah, I am to an extent." But I've learned over the years that every person in every race is not bad as what is being portrayed to everybody. Because see, you got to remember, I'm from the South. I'm from the South where, wherever I walk to the store, I go somewhere, I'm being harassed by cops. And I stayed in a middle class America neighborhood in St. Petersburg, Florida. But I still would be harassed going to the store. I'd be harassed going to play basketball and things of that nature. It wasn't until also when I went to Texas Southern University, go Tigers, that I realized that the media is terrible. And this is why I never wanted to get into mainstream media after what they were putting in the papers and the undertones on shows where they would interview a black man compared to an Asian man, or they would they would interview a black man compared to a white man. And the majority of the time I would see how the white man is portrayed as being this innocent, God-sent man who is just in a world where he has it tough. He's the white man, because whatever decision he makes, he's gonna be crucified. And as a white man's not supposed to be crucified. And that's what is being portrayed. And it's even like that in sports. In sports, the main position they want to keep that is white is the pitcher, and of course, quarterback in the NFL. Those are the two positions. The NBA they don't care about no more, because they're like, look, black people just took that over. It's whatever. They're expanding to the European leagues because they know with the European leagues they can introduce more white players who can actually play that look like white people in America, because the white people in America really just don't want to play no more. They go into golf, they go into lacrosse, they go into hockey, they go into business, they go into be a doctor, they go to be a sports agent. There's so many opportunities for them in their community and for them to be what they want to be. But when it comes to black people, the only way we can seem to tap into millions of dollars, potentially billions of dollars, is if we toe the line. Be a Sambo, be Toby, like what Nas said, from OJ to Kobe, or let's call him Toby, used to play his life cool just like Michael. That's the type of stuff that I look at. That's the type of stuff that I do this for. I really started this page because my father passed away. And I didn't have anybody to talk sports with. And I used to be on Cino's channel a lot. And, I used to know a lot. And, I just asked questions to everybody. Detroit T and everybody, Nick, when we were cool, Uncle Frank. And then when we were cool, Jose. I asked all of them. And, Jose came later. It was Uncle Frank in the beginning. It was Uncle Frank, me, T, Christian, LB. All of us were cool. When we were cool at that point, me and Uncle Frank were cool at that point. But I would ask them, and they would tell me to go for it, and that's why I'm here now. And I just speak on issues. I just be honest about what's going on. And a lot of people come to the page, they'll either hate or they'll try to say, oh, you're a Carcino clone. And it's like, nobody's a Carcino clone. I'm who I am. Now I may take some points from Carcino because Carcino makes great points. And, I support him, because, I never understood how hard it was to do this stuff until I actually did it. And I see why Carcino tell people hit the Cash App up or Super Chat. But the reason you may be like, HD, you're going in circles. What are you talking about? I'm just giving you the whole synopsis of who I am and how I see things. You may not see the same thing I see, and that's cool. I have no problem. Long as you don't disrespect, long as you don't say nothing out the ordinary or crazy, then, you're welcome to be on the page. But as soon as you go into, oh, you don't know what you're all this stuff and all this extraness, it's like, look, I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. If you want to talk about what you want to talk about, or you feel like I'm not touching on the stuff you're talking about, you feel free to create your own page. Now, this comes to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has had to always hear, yo, why don't you go to quarterback? Why don't you be a quarterback? Why don't you be a quarterback? When in college, he was completing in the high 60s to low 70% of his passes. But they never bring that up. He ran a spread offense, a pro-style offense. He ran under center at times. But see, he doesn't get any love or any type of credit for what he's done. People find ways to nitpick at him. People find ways to say he needs to work on this, work on that. Lamar Jackson has been a model citizen, has done everything that these people have asked him to do, but yet he can't get his fully guaranteed contract. He's not like Tuna Fish, where Tuna Fish got all these weapons. He can get all these weapons, get all this stuff. Now he looks like an MVP candidate. Everybody like, Tuna Fish is great. It's like, yeah, because his talent is great. Mac Jones got 2 tight ends, got a running game, got a receiver, 2, or a defense, where Cam couldn't even get that in his first year. Cam had to go out there and say, well, I got to play what I got to play with. Josh Allen could go get Stephon Diggs, all of this. Tom Brady, he wasn't getting a lot of talent on offense, but he was getting what he needed, which was the tight end, slot receiver. Then he came to Tampa. He got receivers, got whatever he wanted. But as soon as a black quarterback asked for something, like Kyler Murray can get all of this stuff in Arizona, because he played the Sambo role. But Lamar Jackson can't get anybody. All Lamar Jackson, you're good enough is to get a tight end. And people are like, well, Kyler's black and Russell Wilson are black, and they used to get talented guys. Yeah, they did. But they played a Sambo part. They both Sambos. Look at the contracts they signed. Kyler Murray signed a contract where it had an addendum in there judging him on his intellect. That's a Sambo to me. You know what they're trying to do to you, and you still do that. Russell Wilson left to go to Denver because he was under the impression that Denver had a better offensive line than Seattle and all of that. Now all of a sudden Seattle's balling and they're not, which is basically making it seem like, oh, Russell Wilson's the problem. You got Big Gino out there balling out. Now, Lamar Jackson is in an offense that seems to, when he lost Bateman and lost Mark Andrews, the offense got better. They're opening the plays up. They're being more creative. Why weren't they creative last year, the year before last, or even earlier this year with Mark Andrews in there? Does Mark Andrews slow the offense down? Is it that Mark Andrews may not comprehend the offense? Because when Isaiah Likely got out there, he looked it a lot better. Even though he dropped a couple passes, but still, he ran his routes crispier. And then they also got Oliver at tight end. They have a running game with Kenyon Drake, who I made my mistake. I thought he played at the U, but he played with Alabama, so that was my apologies. Drake is solid. And Lamar Jackson makes that offense go. Without him, that offense really ain't shit. But Josh Allen can throw 2 picks, no TDs, cost his team the game. He gets a pass. And I don't criticize Josh Allen, because you know why? Because Josh Allen's a leader. He'll step up and he say, you know what, that's unacceptable. I play like crap. I play like it. And that's the reason we lost. We're not going to win games when your quarterback playing like it. And he said that. So I respect Josh Allen. Because Josh Allen, to me, is the white version of Cam Newton. That's what he is. He's Cam Newton. I'm not even going to say white version. I'm going to say quarterback, because I would like that said to the black quarterbacks, just to be called quarterback. Not black, not none of that. I believe he's the next coming of Cam Newton. He's what Cam Newton would have been if Cam would have got receivers and would have been put in a legitimate offense. That's who he is. Everybody say John Elway. Nah. He's not John Elway. John Elway was a lot more like Josh Allen's clutch at times, but John Elway was something else. But Josh Allen, to me, Cam Newton and Josh Allen could earlier in their career, they could throw the ball better than Elway. Elway could throw that ball deep and he could throw on the run, but as he got older, he learned how to throw more, and down the stretch he was a little more clutcher than Josh Allen. John Elway was a lot more clutcher. He used to win games just off of his presence and his leadership. But Patrick Mahomes, like I said, he's shown that he's playing better with less. But he's doing too much. Him and Josh Allen are practically in the same boat, where they both are doing too much and they're not utilizing the running game. Lamar Jackson is utilizing the running game, but he doesn't get credit for his passes. He only gets called out for like his bad passes. Or he may get called out for this. Fair USAC. Give me a second, y'all. I'm going to play this for y'all, because this was some BS.
Game transpired and Lamar just lost it. He fired the football into the turf, and then he and Ronnie Stanley, his right guard, who was supposed to initiate the snap, they got into it. Face mask to face mask. How surprised were you at how strongly Lamar reacted, or maybe overreacted to the situation?
Well, we've seen this before. We just saw Tom Brady a couple of weeks ago, Skip, that he wanted the ball in the center, didn't snap it in time.
Exactly.
I think it's really hard, and what you need to do is when you're on the road, you probably need to get to the line of scrimmage with about 15 seconds, because it's already going to be hard, and you're probably going on a silent count, and that's why you see the guard always look back. Okay, you ready?
And I think he taps, right?
And so, he'll normally tap him, or he'll put his hand like, okay, he's ready for it. Mm-hmm. And as the clock's winding down, the center is just, waiting for the guard to give him the signal to snap the ball. Lamar can see the play clock going down. And so he starts, okay, snap it. And he didn't snap it in time. Now, Skip, this happens a lot. That doesn't mean I'm okay with it. I believe, and Stanley was trying to tell him, bro, we okay. And Lamar's like, F that. No, we not okay.
He snap to you. That. Yep.
Snap to you, no ball.
Yep.
But I like the way they handled it on the sideline, Skip. The Ravens have the 3rd-ranked offensive line in football. Because when you run the football like they do, I think this was 8 consecutive games in which they've gone over 150 rush yards.
That's an amazing stat.
You got to go back to the 85 Bears. Yep. When everybody ran the football, but only the 85 Bears were able to run it like this. You know what happened in 85? The Bears won the Super Bowl, Skip. And Lamar is throwing the ball extremely well.
Yep.
Now, he missed a few throws he liked to have back.
Yep.
Probably had Marcus Robinson on 2 touchdowns.
He did.
Excuse me. And come playoff time, if he can hit one of those, he had the Lively on a 7 route.
He did.
If he could hit a Lively on the 7 route.
Yep.
If he could hit Marcus Robinson on that shallow cross, he threw it behind him. Or he could hit him when he had him on that post. If he could hit one of those throws, Skip, the Ravens are scary. Because now, Skip, their defense is starting to pick it up. They're starting to apply pressure to your quarterback. The back end is really good. Now, I don't like Marcus Peters, bro. You got to get the guy. Just shove the guy out of bounds. You don't need to try to take the ball away from him in that situation because you don't really need the ball back. Now, you're ahead. Just shove him out of bounds and you live to see another day.
By the way, he gets in John Harbaugh's face, but he's always getting in John Harbaugh's face, and I think John just sort of ignores it.
Yeah,
right?
Harb's got to be the coolest guy.
He is.
That's like, come on, man.
Yep.
Let's give a look. Last night, you look at Baltimore's offense with 10 different targets, 8 different guys caught a pass, and none of them was Mark Andrews or Rashad Bateman. That lets you know that the offense is diversified. Kenyon Drake gave him 93 rush yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jack is tremendous, Skip. The way he can get his improvisational skills, and the way he's getting out of harm's way and then getting down. He didn't take really any shots last night. And so well-balanced offense that can strike from anywhere. When they get Mark Andrews back, I like the addition. Although he only had 1 target, didn't play a whole lot of snaps. I like Deshaun Jackson. D-Jack can still run.
I think he kind of pulled a little bit of a hammy at the end.
It's hard as you get old.
36.
And you're not playing continuously. You go to the sideline, you wait a series or 2,
Fair
and go
you
back
said,
in. He fast twitch. So that engine needs to stay revved up all the time, Skip. But look, I understand Lamar's frustration. They were in a great rhythm last night, and the last thing, penalty, Skip. You like it because they were staying on key. You know, it was 2nd and 5. It was 3rd and 3. It was always manageable. And so Lamar said, "Look, guys, we got to stay on track here. I don't like the way he displayed his frustrations, but I understand it. That don't mean I'm good with it. But I've seen quarterbacks behave. You know, John would stomp his feet like, "Come on, guys." But it happened. But the Ravens are scary in the AFC. I understand Baltimore. I understand Buffalo's beating them. I understand Miami's beating them. I understand some other teams. They are scary.
Well, they've had a 10-point-plus lead in every game.
And if you go back and look at history,
they could be undefeated right now.
They're the only team, Skip, that's had a 10-point lead in every game that's lost more than 1 game. All the other teams are either lost no games or 1 game. They've lost 3.
Okay.
But they're getting right at the right time. They get a bye week now. They're gonna be tough.
I agree with your scary takeaway. This team, I just like the way it attacks on both offense and defense. Yet they just lost Bateman, who is Lamar's best target on. He's the one guy who can really run and get open. They didn't have Mark Andrews last night, but he should be back.
Right.
But once you take Bateman away, he's a first-round pick. He's gold for Lamar because he gives Lamar a security blanket he no longer has. So maybe D-Jack can take up a little bit of that slack.
Yes.
But that scares me a little bit for Lamar. Now, back to your point about the offensive line and what happened on the delay of game. I'm an even bigger Lamar fan than you are, but that was a bad look to me because I don't mind him firing the football. It's Brady-esque. It's Elway would do it. You know, it's anger at lack of perfection because you got to be better than that because that's inexcusable because you can eliminate that kind of a penalty. And what's his name? Ronnie Staley is a veteran.
Staley's the left tackle.
Yeah, but I mean. But we're talking about veterans who should know better because Linderbaum's the center. Remember, he went the pick after Tyler Smith went to Dallas. So he's a rookie center, and he needs to get tapped because it's so loud in that dome, as you well know, that he needs to get tapped on when to snap. So the ire of Lamar wasn't aimed at the center; it's aimed at the guard. Okay, so now here we go, and it's one thing to fire the football. It was another thing for Lamar. He just went over the edge. And they get into a screaming match on live national TV that didn't look good. It's like great teams don't do that. It doesn't go that far. Brady was going over the edge, and I believe it was mostly tied to his divorce that he was attempting to finalize while the football season was underway.
You see
I
how
believe
giving
you'll
Brady
see a
an
call
excuse?
of Brady from this point forward because he kind of cleared the mental decks.
Well, I hope so. Hell, he gonna raise hell the whole season.
No, he's not.
He did for the first 6-7 games.
So what is still hanging over Lamar's head? That contract is hanging over his head. I think it's eating him alive, and I don't blame him because he is hurt that they won't reciprocate. He has lived and died for their cause, and now they're not reciprocating. They're not returning the love back to him. And again, do I think he deserves Deshaun? I just do.
Yeah,
because the market, as you always say, it's just going up.
It ain't coming down.
No. Listen, this young man, you want to talk about a gamer and a baller? He is the epitome of those two words to me.
Right.
I also believe that he's an underrated thrower of the football, and I do think he's pass first. He's looking to throw the football. Mm-hmm. He runs when he needs to or has to.
Right.
And yet he uses his legs perfectly to me, and they call a few.
Yes.
And when they call them, they almost always work because it's just hard to stop him. But the point is, I believe he has underrated, and I don't use this word lightly, I think he's got genius about him because he sees it and feels it and reads it very quickly. He goes to the right people. He missed a couple of throws. I think he's pressing on Monday Night Football because the contract is hanging over his head.
Well, Skip, I think the thing is, for me, is that what Lamar is learning through the process of all of this, that at the end of the day, no matter what they say, no matter how many thousands and millions of fans cheer you, this is a business.
Yep.
He now sees it as a business.
Yep.
So let me take that approach. As opposed to me, this is the end all be all. I'm going to die for the cause. I'm going to treat you like you treat me. This is a business.
Agreed.
I'm going to be very professional in this business setting. But, Skip, I just think the thing is he understands. He's like, you know what, guys? If I step off this field at the end of the season, regular season and playoffs, they're going to have to see me. They're going to have to see me. That money, as Fat Joe said, yesterday's price is not today's price.
That is true.
As Jerry Jones, yesterday's price was not today's price for Jerry.
Yep.
And Jerry ended up having to pay probably about $40 million more.
He did.
They're going to have to guarantee what they were willing to guarantee last year is going to cost you somewhere between 30 and 40% more.
That is
so whatever the case may be, whatever you wanted to guarantee him, just go ahead and add another zero or two more zeros.
Right. And I remind you what happened to my guy Dak Prescott 2019 when they went to quote-unquote contractual war with Jerry Jones. Dak was betting on himself. Go, Dak, go. And he went south.
Right.
He unraveled down the stretch. He was pretty horrible down the stretch of 2019, but Jerry was stuck because Jerry didn't have a plan B.
No, he doesn't.
And all of a sudden, he finally says, well, I guess I got to do this. And then he sat right next to him at the press conference and said, I overpaid you.
Skip, but here's the thing. It's going to cost you more than what Deshaun got. You know why? Deshaun was already under contract when the Cleveland Browns tore that contract up. The ink is dry on Lamar. Lamar is at the punctuation. He's at the period. On the last page, like LT says, I'm on the last page. I'm in the last paragraph, the last sentence.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson is on the last page, the last paragraph, at the period. So it's going to cost you more because Cleveland tore up his original contract and gave him more money.
Okay, I agree. And you know and I know what the Ravens you know so well are thinking. Deep down, they're thinking, can he stay healthy for 5 more years? Because history would tell you if he continues to put himself in too much of harm's way that he won't last for 5 more years. He won't be the same.
I hope he can. But if he gives you a Super Bowl in one of those
That
5
is
years,
correct. That's all
money well spent.
I would say. Can you bet on it? Can you trust it?
I'm going to trust him because where you going? You realize it's hard, Skip. It's not quarterbacks. Franchise, great quarterbacks don't just fall off a tree. And yeah, you can go into the draft, Skip, and there's probably going to be some available. C.J. Stroud, you got Bryce Young, you got a couple of these guys. Ain't no guarantee. I know what I got with Lamar Jackson. I got an MVP. I got an All-Pro. I got a Pro Bowl
MVP, something that Josh Allen ain't got.
Anything that's coming up in the next 4 or 5 drafts.
And tell me if I'm wrong, but I get the sense that football team loves him.
Oh, he did, yeah.
I mean, lives for him.
Yeah.
Will run through walls for him. I don't get the sense that anybody is skeptical of his ability to throw the football.
Absolutely not.
Because all he did a couple of years back was win the MVP. You can't win the MVP.
Unanimously.
Yeah.
Only 2 guys have ever done that. He and Tom Brady. He did it unanimously. Threw 36 touchdowns with 6 interceptions, and we know what his legs are. He's the most dynamic runner since Vic. And Skip, I mean, they run those. He fakes it one way, and then they pull the guard, and he hit it up inside. They can't get him on the ground.
Yeah.
He's averaging 7 yards a carry.
I'm with you about this. On Monday Night Football on the biggest stage, he missed a couple of throws. Again, they're pressing throws where then he just fell down on the ground and looked up.
So what? Josh Allen missed throws. Patrick Mahomes missed throws.
Best case scenario, Marcus Robinson runs in the end zone. He has a touchdown.
Yeah.
Brady missing a lot of throws.
To your young man, the tight end, likely that he hit him in the corner of the end zone. It was a thing of beauty to me. Okay, he can do that.
That what was so surprising about how he missed Robinson, because he does throw the ball so well on the move.
He does.
Because that's what in college, if you go back and look at his college career, he can throw from the pocket.
You didn't watch him in college, Shannon. Stop lying.
Like Mahomes is deadly accurate on the move. Lamar can throw the ball on the move. And that's why he's like, I cannot believe that's an easy throw and I just missed it so far behind the guy. He missed the tight. He missed 84. I forget his name.
Yeah, I know.
He had him on a what we call a basic cross.
He did.
10 yards of the cross. He threw it behind it.
He did.
But
okay, so remember, there's no Bateman, there's no Andrews last night, there's no Dobbins, there's no Gus Edwards, and yet they dominated a New Orleans team that is better than you think.
Yes.
On defense, they're pretty good, because you know what they just did to the Raiders? They just shut them out.
yeah, but Skip,
right?
you see what happened? 38 minutes to 22 minute time.
Well, that's who they are. That's what they do. And if you add Roquan Smith to the middle of that defense, and Justin Houston looks like he found the fountain of youth.
Yeah. So and like I said, they get Calais Campbell back. He's collapsing the pocket inside. I think Pierce was out last night with an injury. He's going to probably come back at some point in time. This team, after this bye week, they're going to start to hit their peak. And this is a very, very, very scary team, because what they can do is that they can go on the road, they can run it, and Lamar can throw it well enough. Skip, I'm not saying he don't need to be Patrick Mahomes. No. He don't need to be Tom Brady. What they can do run-wise and the way they can play keep away, it's not like you're going to get a whole lot of possessions. It's not like you're going to get 91 snaps. You're not going to get 85 snaps playing the Baltimore Ravens.
Last quick point to you. Every time I watch Baltimore play, I love those uniforms so much. They make you look faster to me. Lamar looks fast because of the. Did you love playing in those uniforms?
I'm trying to think, Skip. I don't remember. I don't think we had the black pants when I was there. I think they got the black pants. I can't recall ever playing in the black pants. Okay, but I do love the black.
The running backs look faster. Lamar looks. Deshaun looks with that.
There's something about black unis anyway. They look menacing.
They do. On defense, they look menacing.
They do. And that purple, that means you look at the Ravens and the way they play. And I was saw some of the clips, the highlight clips of the documentary that's going to be released in February. They said the Ravens they just play angry.
Yep.
And when you're a Raven, play like a Raven, you're angry. You're pissed off.
Yeah. No, I got it. Scary team.
I love it.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans.
Okay, so you got to hear that bullshit. Then keep the same energy with Brady. Tried to make an excuse. Oh, well, he has off the field, his marriage. And I don't want to hear that shit. When you step on the field, dog, it's over. You on that field. Brady knew what happened in his marriage, why his marriage was like it was. He should have had that dealt with. You knew you was going to come back and play ball, so you should have got rid of the broad in the offseason. Now, look. Lamar Jackson is the most criticized player in the league. Period. They don't ever keep this same energy with Josh Allen. Hell, Marcus Mariota, nobody talks about him. He runs the ball more than damn near everybody. But he gets a pass, right? We're not going to get on him. Shannonsharpe and them killed Trey Lance. All these Niner fans killed Trey Lance. And now look at the bum-ass Niners. Lamar Jackson has done nothing but get better and better. Yeah, he may miss throws time and time again. But all your great quarterbacks used to miss throws. They try to make it seem like he misses throws all the time when that's not the case. Patrick Mahomes was missing a lot of throws this past Sunday. During the season, during last season, year before. Josh Allen has missed passes. All of these guys have missed passes. Look, I don't care about the black or white thing, but how about you guys stop making it about the black and white thing? Be consistent with your criticism. If you're going to criticize Lamar for going off on the lineman, he deserved to go off on that lineman because he didn't do his goddamn job. And as the leader of the team, that's what you do. I done seen plenty of white quarterbacks. Peyton Manning. I done seen Jeff George. Done seen Terry Bradshaw. Done seen all these guys. Troy Aikman done went off at their line. I've seen that before. But because it's Lamar Jackson, he can't do it. He can't do it. It's a bad look. But notice how he was coming up with an excuse with Tom Brady, right? He was coming up with an excuse. And you see that Shannon threw out there John Elway because to try to make it seem like, man, look, Skip, I got to put somebody else in there. They've been killing me over this Kyrie thing. Yeah, they've been killing your ass, which you've been deserving. So Skip Bayless is a bum. He's a chump. He's a shot jock. And he's only saying this stuff. Then he's gonna try to justify it by saying, well, I'm a bigger Lamar fan than you and everything. Yeah, I see that, but then you still trying to act like an a-hole. You basically gave a backhanded compliment. I remember when Terrell Owens did this in San Francisco on the sideline. I remember I made an Instagram video and I said it. I said, that's funny. That's when I was saying, now see, if Tom Brady does this, he's glorified. But if Terrell Owens does it, oh, he's crucified. You see the difference? Go back and see when Tom Brady was going on his rant, cursing out guys on the sideline. But when T.O. did it, he's a team obliterator. Skip doesn't keep it consistent. He always loves to find something. Hell, he used to diss Allen Iverson, me, myself, and Iverson. Always made Iverson out to be selfish when Iverson was trying to win the damn game. Iverson could care less about his stats. He just wanted to win. And see, that's the thing. Skip only gives passes to guys like Jordan and Brady. It's okay for them to curse people out and punch people. But Lamar Jackson, who just got upset because of how the play was, oh well, you know, we got to get on Lamar Jackson. You know, Lamar Jackson can't do that. You know, he can't keep people in line. He can't go off on people and make them understand what's going on. Can't do that. So Skip was wrong on this one. I saw the play and Lamar deserved to yell at him because that was BS what he did. That was BS what the line did. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if y'all love what y'all hear, y'all can go to the description box. Hit that link to my Cashapp where you can donate whatever your heart's desire. You know, you guys can do that. And, hey, thank you guys, man, for your blessings. You also can do a super chat when we're live or have a premiere video. And you guys can also do a super thanks. When you're done watching the video, you guys can leave a donation at the end of the video. So thank you guys, man, for your love and blessings, man. And Skip Bayless is full of shit. And Lamar Jackson did nothing wrong. And for him to point that out and criticize him, but yet give Brady a pass, shows you the double standard. Thank you guys for listening, man. I'm out. Deezy.